Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about self-concept, but based around I am not good enough or other people think I'm not good enough. So either you think you're not good enough, so you see that reflected back to you, other people treating you as if you're right and you're actually not good enough, or you think that other people can't see how great you are. You know it, you feel it, but other people aren't noticing it. Okay, so the first thing, you'd think you're not good enough. It will go back to childhood. It pretty much always does, unless something's happened recently that's really knocked you and made you feel like you're not good enough. But generally it goes back to childhood. It may be that you weren't validated by a teacher, by your parents, by family members in general. It may be that you always felt that you were second best. Maybe your best friend was always choosing other people over you, so-called your best friend, but actually not. It could be anything like that. And generally what happens is we take these things with us into adulthood. So a really key thing is to look at when this started and think, why am I letting this instant or this part of my life affect the rest of my life, affect my present and affect my future, which is what you're doing when you keep it and you keep feeling it. You're allowing it to affect you now and to impact your future you, because you are still living with it now. Why am I doing that? Why would I do that to myself? Okay, that might really help you in the moment, because that is what's going on here. And it is a belief, so it is something that you feel about yourself, that it's a program and it's on autopilot and it's ticking over the whole time. You don't feel you're good enough, so then why would other people think that you're good enough? And this is what happens. Reality reflects back a version of the 3D to you that shows you that you are right, that you're not good enough. All that is you're just seeing snippets of things from other people that back up what you believe about yourself. You have no idea what's going on in that other person's head. Just because somebody's treating you in that way, you don't know what's going on in their head. That is not what's going on here. It's just reality showing back to you your version of events. So there's that. Okay, when you think that other people can't see that you're good enough, that is a need for validation. You may not think it is, and I found it really difficult to come to terms with the fact that I needed validation. I didn't like that, and I pretended that I didn't for a long time. And then I thought, why the hell am I not being honest with myself? How can I change anything by lying to myself? So I thought, no, I do need validation. I need to prove. I didn't do well at school. I didn't get any qualifications. Look at me, aren't I doing well? Without any qualifications, look at me now, and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of admitted that to myself, and then thought, it's a weird thing, needing the validation, but also being a person that doesn't like talking about myself. You know, if I bump into somebody I haven't seen for years, they start asking me about myself, what I'm doing, I just die inside a little bit. I think, no, because when I don't know how to start describing myself these days, it's really difficult. What do I call myself? I'm so many different things. And then I have this real kind of like, oh, I don't like being a centre of attention, I guess that's what it is. So it's a funny thing, isn't it? You need validation, but how can you be validated when you don't tell anybody about yourself? It's a really funny thing. But I didn't like needing validation. So I thought, I'm not doing that. Why do I care? And so I know why I care. I worked out why I care. And it does go back to childhood. It goes back to being very shy. I had a real problem with my teeth when I was very young, because I had an accident and it moved my jaw. And so I was always kind of shying away from things. So I would never put myself out. And I'd know things like, the teacher would ask something and I'd know the answer, but I'd be terrified to put my hand up, so I wouldn't do it because I don't want to make an idiot of myself. So because I hated any attention being on me. So I know it all sort of comes back from there, that good enough thing, I suppose, thinking that other people don't think I'm good enough. I definitely had that. So there was a care there. So I've changed that to a point where I do not even think to tell anybody anything I'm doing. Unless somebody asks me, like my friend asked me or something, my friends ask me, I would tell them. Probably the person that knows most, obviously Jeremy knows what I do and Harry knows, but the person that knows most about what I do is my friend Sarah, because I work in an office with her and we're actually in the same office together now. And she's very much into this, so we talk about a lot of stuff, and she's also a coach, so I do pass some coaching clients her way. She does different coaching than me. She's emotion code and happiness coaching, but she's really great. So she probably knows more than anybody knows, and I've got two other best friends that I see a lot, but they probably don't know anywhere near as much as Sarah knows, and Sarah only knows because she's constantly asking me. So, and I feel comfortable talking with her about it. Absolutely no problem talking about myself with her, which is great. But again, I had to get over that. Why do I care what other people think? So, you know, I've done things like I've been featured in a magazine before. I haven't even told anyone. Sarah knows. Sarah knows. I didn't even tell my mum, you know. But it wasn't that I thought, I'm not going to say because I don't need validation anymore. No, I didn't even think to. I just did not even think to mention it. And that is awesome when you get to that point, because you really don't care. The odd occasion I will notice that somebody says something and I feel a little bit offended or something, or I feel, and I'm not easily offended, not at all, or something will bother me and I go, oh, where's that come from? And I'm interested in that. Why have I still got that? I thought I got rid of that, and have a look at it. What's going on there? I quite like that. It's an analytical thing and I enjoy that. Looking at why that's happened, why that person that said that triggered that in me, why was that? And I'll get rid of it. I can heal it. I can just say, I heal the fact that I feel this, and this. I heal that. I don't want to feel that anymore. It's much easier when you get really much better at this. So first of all, why do you care what another person thinks? Why do you care? Once you realise that it's a need for validation by other people not knowing you're good enough, what happens is you then go, well, I think I'm good enough anyway, and you start really feeling that, and really feeling like, well, I don't care. If I feel I'm good enough, what do I care what this person thinks? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if I make it matter, then I'm saying that their opinion is more valuable than my opinion of myself. I more value the fact that they think that I'm not good enough than I feel that I am good enough. So there are ways around this. We have to really analyse it in an interested way, not in a stressed out way, in an interested way. Why am I feeling like this? What can I do about that? There's always something you can do, whether you listen to subliminals or meditations and things like that, if you find the other stuff hard. But you know, mostly a recognition of why you are feeling it can really stop it. It did with me, with the realising thinking that other people didn't think I was good enough. I realised that was a validation thing, and now I don't feel that at all. Now I think, oh, like everyone knows how amazing I am. No, I'm really joking, but you know, seriously, I don't have that issue at all. I never concern myself with if somebody else thinks I'm successful, or somebody else thinks I'm doing well, somebody else thinks I'm great. It doesn't concern me. It doesn't enter my psyche at all. I just don't think about it. But if I'm thinking about it now, yeah, I think other people do appreciate it, because I can see that reflected back to me now. That's reflected to me because I don't care for it anymore. So it's naturally just being reflected to me because I'm not bothered. It's always nice when somebody pays you a lovely compliment and says, oh my God, you're doing really well, or what my friends say, Sarah say, oh, I'm really proud of you, what you've done, you've achieved. That's lovely. I love that and I appreciate that, but I appreciate it for what it is. It's a lovely compliment and it's a genuine compliment in the moment, but I don't get a big head about it. I don't walk about with it thinking that is true. I saw something actually, and this is a bit strange probably because he's a lot younger than me, but I really like Harry Styles. It's just something about him. He just got something, and he said that somebody had said to him, whatever anybody says to you about you, see it as not true. So if somebody says great things about you, it's not really true. If somebody says negative things about you, that's not true. Nothing is real, nothing is true. And if you see that like that, then it's much easier not to get hung up on the negative things that people say about you, or that you hear that somebody thinks about you. So that is the key, really, just to don't take anything too seriously. So the good stuff, whilst it's good, enjoy it and take it for what it is in the moment, but don't, if you let the good really get to you, think, yeah, I'm that, I'm so amazing, then when anything negative is said, or you perceive something to be negative, it really will knock you. It will knock you back a lot, because you think this, now someone else has said this, so that must not be true then, this must be true. And we immediately, we have this habit of latching onto the negative, like that is true. So somebody, and back in the day, I would have been like this. So I could have heard 10 amazing things about me and thought, oh, that's all wonderful. And then I would hear one thing about the same subject about me, but that was negative, and I would focus on that. I would focus on the negative. So forget about the 10 good things, just think about the one bad thing. And that's what we tend to do as human beings. It's a bit of a natural thing, actually, which I don't do anymore. If I find myself going, I think, hang on a minute, look at all this positive and this one negative, you're gonna give importance to that? No, don't do it. But really, if you stop giving too much importance to anything at all, then nothing is that significant. And it doesn't matter, does it, if you don't give so much significance to the good stuff? I mean, enjoy it. Like I said, enjoy it in the moment. Don't just go, oh, I don't care about that. You know, just enjoy it at the moment. But like I said, don't bring it in as part of you. So don't allow yourself to be knocked when something more negative happens, which it will. Things happen, people say things, you know, people say things that we don't agree with about us and things like that, but just don't let it get to you. That's the key. As long as you are happy with you, that is all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So bring it back to this. Your self-concept is all that's important. Your good self-concept is all that's important. So if you are struggling and you feel that you're not good enough, or you feel that other people don't feel you're good enough, look at which it is. Which is it with you? Is it this one or is it this one? So the second is the need for validation. The first is just a general feeling of lack in yourself, feeling that there's something missing from you, feeling that other people are better than you. You are not of high value. You have put a low value on yourself. So you've allowed something in the past to stick this low value on you, and you've kept that low value. You haven't put your price up over the years. That's the problem. That's what you need to do. You can even visualize it like that. You've got a low price tag on you. Put your price tag up. Put it up according to inflation, okay? So that's what you need to do. Don't let something that happened to you back in the day, or be treated in a certain way back in the day, come with you and be part of your present, which will then become part of your future. We don't want that. We want things to change. So put a different price tag on yourself. Secondly, if you are worrying that other people don't think you're good enough, as long as you feel you are, take the need for validation away. That is a need for validation. It only matters that you feel you're good enough. As soon as you feel you're good enough and stop worrying about other people thinking that you are or not, take that out of the equation, you will see reality reflected back to your 3D will show that people do. But you won't be bothered about it until you actually start and sit and think about it and think, oh yeah, I am getting that reflected back. You won't even care. So that is key. Which one are you? Whichever one you are, work on that. Okay, thank you so much for watching, visiting this channel, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to do that.